Hey folks, Crazy Beauty here, cranking out my very first video. Aren't y'all excited? I know I am. As I sat and thought to myself what I can do for my very first video, I figured, why not introduce you guys to basically the love of my cosmetic life, Makeup Forever. Very specifically, I'm going to introduce you to my humble, decent-sized but growing Makeup Forever eyeshadow collection. Basically, I want you all to love and appreciate the brand as much as I do. Makeup Forever is actually a brand started by an artist, for the artists. The artist is Danny Sands, and she started the line back in France about 15 to 20 years ago. Since then, Makeup Forever has become synonymous with quality products and crazy pigmentation. And I know that I could personally vouch for every single thing that line has created, as I pretty much have tried most of it. Enough of me babbling. Let me go ahead and introduce you directly to my collection. Basically, I have two palettes here that I'm going to introduce you to. Each one of these bad boys holds 24 eyeshadows. Let me mention that these actual palettes are only available if you do go to a freestanding store. The only freestanding store I know of in the U.S. is actually in the Union Square area of New York, which I've been fortunate enough to visit on many, many occasions. That's basically why I've built such an impressive collection. You can buy individual eyeshadows at Sephora. They come like this in these little compacts. They're about $18 to $19. You can, if you do call the store and order the palettes for yourself or go in person, you can actually pop the the pan, out of these individual palettes and pop it into your big palette. If you do go ahead and buy refills, this is what they look like. And all it is a pan that you eventually pop out and put into your palette. Let me mention, if you're buying individual eyeshadows from Sephora or any other vendor that sells Makeup Forever eyeshadows, you'll pay about $18 to $19, whereas I believe the refills are about $13, so it's a huge value. The palettes themselves can get kind of pricey as you go bigger. I think the 6-pan palette is about $12. I know this one was about $50, $60 just for the empty palette alone, which is made out of a sturdy wood. All you got to do is snap it open and open it up. It comes with a layer of foam to protect your eyeshadows and 2 trays. Let me mention that you can put another tray into this. Each tray holds 12 eyeshadows, so if you do put three trays, you're basically filling the palette to maximum capacity, and you get 36 eyeshadows in one palette that you could travel with and take anywhere with you. It's very secure. We've actually stumbled across my favorite palette, and that is my purples, my corals, and my pinks. I guess we'll go over a couple of the colors specifically. I'm not going to swatch them currently, but you can get swatches on my blog if you visit crazybeauty.blogspot.com. And it's basically the same as my username, .blogspot.com. A couple of the colors that stand out to me in this palette, if you're a neutrals kind of girl, I highly, highly recommend both numbers 125, which is right there, and 122, both of which together make awesome neutral look. 125 is a very neutral beige with pink undertones, whereas 122 is a gorgeous brown copper color. Here's my baby. Here's number 9. Number 9 is actually the first eyeshadow that I ever purchased from Makeup Forever, and it's a matte. And I purchased it in Sephora about a year ago, and since then I've been slowly building my collection more and more. Makeup Forever eyeshadows do come in several different finishes. Out of all of those, my favorite has to be the mattes. If you haven't tried a Makeup Forever matte eyeshadow, you haven't lived. They are the most amazing pigmented colors that you can ever work with, and a lot of the times a matte eyeshadow, you won't be able to blend it. It'll be very hard to work with. Not the case at all with Makeup Forever. Number 9 is a matte. It's a periwinkle purple with definite pink tones to it. It almost has a duochrome, if a matte can have a duochrome. You definitely do see that pink in there. Number 92, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. That's right there. Number 92 is perhaps one of the most famous Makeup Forever colors. And if you're a purple lover, there's no doubt about it, you have to have number 92. It is the most insane purple matte eyeshadow. True purple, and I have not seen it mimicked in any other lines at all. So you need number 92 if you don't have it. Moving on, I have a couple more. Most of my collection is matte, you'll notice. A couple more matte eyeshadows that I would like to mention to you. Number 5, if you're a coral kind of girl, this is an amazing color to have. Number 5 right here, which is a matte orangey coral color. 58 is a great raspberry pink color. Great if you're into your pinks, and if you are into the hot pinks, if you're an adventurous sort, which I definitely am. Number 75 is an awesome hot pink color. Let me also mention, I know a couple of you have asked me this before, Makeup Forever eyeshadows are actually, most of them are labeled as blushes. That's because you can use any eye color on your cheeks as well. They're made to be multifunctional, and if you actually look at the refill right here, it does say powder blush refill. So that's just another thing that's worth mentioning, that you can use these as blushes as well as eyeshadows, which is pretty great. We'll move on. I'm going to show you my second palette very quickly. And here it is. Let's open it up. And here we have my blues and my greens. A couple of colors that I can show to you that I am very fond of. If you love Parrot, you're going to love number 83, which is actually very similar to Parrot, and it's an iridescent teal blue color. Then actually right next to it, if you can see right here, that's number 72, which is a gorgeous robin's egg blue. Right above it you have 91, which is a matte grass green color if you're into your bright greens. I personally don't wear them that much, but you know, it's a good color to have for sure. 171 is a great little sparkling shade of chartreuse. I kind of think of it as MAC's Bitter, only with a little bit more gold in it and a little bit more of an iridescence to it. And if you're a smoky eye kind of girl, which I definitely am, 169 is a great smoky eye color. It is a dark gunmetal gray, and if you look at it in certain lights, you could definitely see a bluish green tinge to it, which is great. A couple more colors here that I have on the bottom of my palette that I'm going to quickly go over. Number 2 right here is great if you're into the yellows. It's a matte yellow color comparable to, I guess, chrome yellow from MAC. I know a lot of you are familiar with MAC colors. I have a couple more colors in the gray family. If you're interested in sort of an icy, silvery, light blue color, number 170 is great, fits the bill. And last but not least, I'm going to introduce you very briefly to the Star Eyeshadow finish, which I have these last 3 right here, 307, 309, and 311. 307 is a black with silver glitter in it. 309 is actually a purple with glitter in it, and then 311 is a burgundy color. One thing to mention with the Star eyeshadows, you get crazy pigmentation as you do with any other Makeup Forever eyeshadow, but you have to be careful because you can get fallout with it. I recommend using a very densely packed brush, something like the MAC 242 or 252, and patting the color onto the lid in order to prevent a glittery fallout. But other than that, they're pretty amazing. I have no complaints. Well, that's it. If you guys would like me to actually video swatch for you, I can definitely do that. Just let me know in the comments section. And I hope you enjoyed this brief foray into Makeup Forever eyeshadows. This is Crazy Beauty signing out. Bye guys!